Good evening. 2020 has certainly been a year unlike any other. Though with the Neighbor Project, it's been a lot more than a global pandemic and tuning into Zoom meetings and gym shorts that's made it unique. It's been a year of many firsts and a year of significant growth. For starters, back in February, we officially doubled the size of our staff in less than 2 years since the 2018 merger of Joseph Corporation and Emmanuel House to form the Neighbor Project. And while it's great to be part of a growing team, what's really exciting is that this has put us on track to double the number of families that we're impacting in 2020 as compared to 2019, and set a 2021 goal of tripling our impact from just last year. This year we launched a first large-scale rent assistance program for families suffering a COVID-19 related loss of income. It was the first year we received over $500,000 in pass-through grants to award directly to lower-income homeowners to make urgent repairs to their homes at a time when so many are struggling to keep up with their mortgage, let alone pay for a new roof or furnace. But probably our biggest first is our new partnership with the City of Aurora to launch Illinois' first ever Financial Empowerment Center, built on an evidence-based national model that has now been replicated in 20 states and works with families in 4 areas: getting connected to safe banking, establishing and building credit, reducing debt, and increasing savings and asset building, which we hope will create a whole new pathway to homeownership and/or financial independence. We started our plans for this Financial Empowerment Center the week after last year's gala, and little did we know then just how critical this resource would be in the year 2020 as we work with families to rebuild their finances and recover from so much job loss and economic instability. And so whether it's helping nearly 1,000 families who've lost jobs or income this year to access or apply for emergency rent or mortgage assistance, or connecting hundreds of families to free, ongoing professional financial coaching, or continuing to still help scores of families become first-time homeowners, more than ever, the Neighbor Project is meeting families right where they're at and launching more of our neighbors into greater areas of possibility and opportunity. But it's about more than helping people. At the core of the Neighbor Project is the foundational truth that when our neighbors prosper, our city thrives. And that truth drives our entire mission and shapes our approach, which is grounded in an unwavering belief that every person has a God-given ability to contribute, to be an important part of building a stronger and better community. It isn't the Neighbor Project that will ultimately build up and transform our cities, but if we enlist and empower and engage financially vulnerable populations with opportunities to reduce debt, build credit, save money, and in many cases become homeowners, then otherwise vulnerable populations can quickly become contributing members and leaders of our communities, bringing their own unique skill sets to bear. Stronger neighbors equal stronger neighborhoods. And as simple as that sounds, I believe that this is one of the defining challenges of our time. Learning that investing in our neighbors is the same thing as investing in ourselves. Because as Dr. King once wrote in a letter from a Birmingham jail, we are all caught in an inescapable network of mutuality, tied in a single garment of destiny. Whatever affects one directly affects all indirectly. And in that same paragraph, he coined that unforgettable truth that injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Our community, and indeed our world, is certainly faced with many difficult and seemingly intransigent issues. Problems with long enough histories and complex enough layers to make us want to throw up our hands and ask, can anyone ever actually make a real difference? Whether it's racial injustices or government programs that have sometimes led to cycles of dependency instead of empowerment, or stubborn patterns of economic inequality. And while these issues are complex, the solution is perhaps a little less complicated. If we love our neighbors, if we invest in them, and if we believe in our neighbors enough to admit that our own well-being is tied up in that same single garment of destiny, then our call to action suddenly becomes a little more clear. We have to believe in our neighbors enough to invest in them, invest in others the way we would want to be invested in ourselves. With your help, we can keep working to break down the very barriers to homeownership, which are the single largest driver of this nation's wealth gap. We can end cycles of dependency and start new cycles of empowerment. And we can break generational patterns of economic inequality through programs that equip our neighbors to put down their own roots and add their own voices, their own talents, and their own contributions to the strength and stability of our neighborhoods. But as I said earlier, this is not about the Neighbor Project as an organization. Our model is a call for neighbors to invest in neighbors. And so it only works if more of you join us. And remember, this is not work we do for people. This is work we do with people. This work is collective, because the only way forward is together.